let's talk about what people fear. Over the years, so many people all over the world have remained stagnant in life. They have refused to move forward and progress in a world filled with opportunities. They are bound by fear. They have settled for less in a world of freedom, abundance, and opportunities. They hide and limit their potentials because they are afraid of so many things. They allow their destinies to be mortgaged and stolen by fear. We are going to take a look at some of these fears and see how they have bound people and hampered the destinies of so many people, including nations of the world. Today, I'll be talking about fears due to custom or traditional beliefs. I remember that so many years ago, when I was still a kid, we used to perform a kind of sacrifice or ritual in my family yearly. Before finally you are allowed to start eating the new yam, my father will kill a fowl or goat, which will be used to cook the yam for the ceremony. He prayed to the ancestors, and everybody in the family would dine together. After this ceremony, we would start eating the new yam. Those days, we were told that it was wrong to eat the new yam without waiting for this ritual to be performed. There were consequences if you did, and we believed it and strongly adhered to it. Today, I eat yam any time of the year I like. I no longer wait for my father or any kind of ritual or sacrifice to be performed before I can eat the new yam. I no longer believe or practice that anymore. I am not against tradition in any way. However, when a tradition becomes a bondage instead of something that gives me peace of mind, freedom, and the right to choose, it becomes unnecessary. There are so many people today who are still bound by such tradition due to fear, but that's okay. It's the choice they have made. As for me, I have chosen not to be bound by such beliefs. There is this belief in some places that you should not whistle at night because you are inviting evil spirits by doing that. And many people still believe that today. They will not dare whistle at night or have anyone around them do that because it is very dangerous. It is forbidden. Another common belief is that any time you sneeze, someone else is calling your name in some place. You are supposed to beware anytime you are sneezing several times because an enemy somewhere might be doing enchantment with your name. In some communities, people worship snakes and other animals. These animals are sacred in such places, and people are either forbidden from killing or eating them. If you kill or eat them, something evil will happen to you unless a sacrifice is performed to appease the gods of the land. If a married man died in some communities, the wife is subjected to all forms of humiliation to prove that she had no hand in the death. In some communities, she would be forced to drink from the water that was used to bat the disease to prove her innocence. Are these people not bound by fear and ignorance? Why should a woman be forced to drink water that resembles poison in a bid to prove her innocence? At other times, the man is the supposed culprit. When he loses his wife to an untimely death, he might also be made to swear to a deity in order to prove his innocence. Ignorance and superstition can make people to think that anytime somebody is sick or dies, that a fellow human being somewhere is responsible. The greatest book in the world, which is the Holy Book, as I believe, tells of a wonderful story of a man who Christ healed on a Sabbath day. The Jewish leaders were annoyed with him for performing a miracle on the Sabbath day because this was not proper according to their custom. Christ made them to understand that saving a person's life was far greater than obeying any custom. Showing love and giving health and life to somebody was far greater than any law or tradition. He proved to them that the law was providing for people. The law is also provided to serve the people. It is also to protect them, but not to destroy. It is not meant to destroy the people, it was meant to serve. Those Jews were bound and blinded by the fear of tradition, and consequently they allowed many innocent people to die because they believed it was wrong to heal or treat somebody on a Sabbath day. Another similar and interesting story I saw in the Bible was where Christ prevented a crowd from stoning to death a woman caught in adultery. In this story, Christ proved once again that people should not be bound by inhuman traditions. He wanted people to rise above such fears. Fear of tradition that condemns people to death over little offenses, instead of correcting them and giving them a chance to repent. He acknowledged quite well that this woman had sinned and messed up, but still insisted that she deserved mercy. By telling the woman go and sin no more, he let them know that sometimes it's better to bypass the law and do what is right. Remember that people slaughtered thousands of innocent children who were twins so many years ago, believing these twins were taboo. They believed that they were doing the right thing. They were afraid of disobeying the gods and the laws of their land. But it was the laws and traditions of man that created these fears in the minds of people. It was man that bound himself to these gods and wrong beliefs. There is this practice in some parts of Igbo land called the Osu caste system. Could you believe that some of these practices still goes on in so many of our communities till this day? I know so because it is still practiced in my own community up till this present day. Osu people are people that their parents, grandparents or great-grandparents were somehow sold as slaves or ostracized from their community due to one reason or the other. For example, somebody might commit an offense and is banished from his community. Or maybe a community wants to kill someone for an offense and he runs to a deity to take refuge. The community may not kill him again due to the fear of the consequences since he has taken refuge in that deity. If this sort of person eventually marries from another clan and bears children, all his children and great-grandchildren, grandchildren and great-grandchildren will become outcasts. They will become an Osu. They will become Osu. For as long as their lineage continues, they will be called Osu. They will not have some privileges accorded to a freeborn. They will never be allowed to marry a freeborn, cannot take titles in such communities, and cannot become traditional ruler, and so many others. They and their descendants will be termed Osu or outcasts. The descendants of an Osu in any part of Igbo land where it is practiced are highly discriminated against. They and their descendants live with the stigma of being called an Osu for the rest of their lives. I am from a royal kindred and not an Osu. In fact, my grandfathers and great-grandfathers have been traditional rulers or Igwe in my community. I am a freeborn in my community, but I have to say this as it is a matter that affects humanity. Moreover, I mention this for you to see how people are bound by fear and ignorance. People have refused to abandon the practice of Osuka system in Igbo land for fear of tradition and the gods of the land. If a parent or grandparent had sinned in the past and have been banished or punished for their sins, why should their children, grandchildren and great-grandchildren continue to suffer and be stigmatized for the sins of their parents or grandparents till this day? A freeborn cannot marry an Osu. If you are a freeborn and dares to marry an Osu, your parents, your brothers, your sisters, uncles, and other relations will not support such marriage. You and all your children will be stigmatized simply because you saw a beautiful woman or a handsome man that is called an Osu and married. These are things our forefathers who knew no civilization or education practiced as a result of their ignorance. They were bound by fear. We continue to hold on to it till this day because we are bound by fear as well. Fear of changing an inhuman, outdated and evil tradition. A tradition that says one human being is better than the other. We allow an innocent person to suffer and be stigmatized for something that is not their fault. Remember that this mentorship contains 23 video series. To participate and watch all video series, step 1, visit our website www.schoolofsuccessonline.com. Step 2, log in if you are an existing member or click register to register as a new member. Step 3, click on the link payment on top page of our website. Pay 1,500 naira monthly access fee or 12,000 naira yearly access fee to our bank account through bank transfer or direct deposit to upgrade to a gold or diamond membership. Step 4, notify us of the payment through SMS on 0904 601 5183 or any number on our website. Name, date paid, amount, bank paid. Within a few hours, your membership will be upgraded. Step 5, log in with your username and password on the site anytime you choose. Go to categories and click on mentorship to gain access to the videos. For sponsorship or support, please contact 0904 601 5183. Follow us on Facebook, Motivation Niger. Our Twitter handle is @Fidelis Anene.